90% of YouTube channels created this year will be completely inactive within 12 months. Not deleted, just abandoned. Sitting there with 8 videos, a generic channel banner, and a last uploaded date that tells the whole story. And the reason most people give up and give for quitting, the algorithm is rigged. The platform favors big channels, and you need expensive equipment. You need to start years ago. None of this, so those are real reasons. The real reason is something far less dramatic and far more flexible. I've watched hundreds of new creators, fail, and the pattern is almost always identical. And here's what actually happening, and more importantly, here's the specific things the ones who make it do differently. The real reason is not what people think it is. Most new to YouTubers they fail because they're solving the wrong problem. They spend their energy on things that feel productive, buying better cameras, designing the channel logos, and researching upload times and studying other creators' strategy, while the actual problems killing their channels goes completely unaddressed. The production quality is fine, the upload schedule is fine, the channel art is fine, but the content had no specific audience. The thumbnails created no reason to click, and the videos answer questions nobody's actively searching for. It's the equivalent of obsessing over the interior design of a restaurant that's in the wrong location, serving the wrong food with no sign out front. All the effort is real, and none of it is landing on the lever that matters. And the creators who fail are almost never lazy. They're misdirected. They're working incredibly hard on the 20% of things that account for 5% of results, while the 20% of things that account for 80% of people results sit untouched because those things are harder, less intuitive, and less immediately satisfying to work on. And failure reason number one, let me tell you about that. They make content for themselves. The most common version of failure I see starts here. A new creator decides to start a new YouTube channel and immediately asks themselves, what do I want to make? What am I interested in? What would be fun to film? And these are the wrong questions, not because your interests don't matter, because they do, but because starting with yourself instead of your viewers is how you build a channel that satisfies you and nobody else. And the question that builds channels is, what does a specific person with a specific problem need right now that they cannot find a good answer to? And when your content is to answer the question to that answer to that question, discovery is almost automatic. And when your content is an expression of your own interests with no particular views in mind, discovery requires the algorithm to somehow match your undefined content with an undefined audience, which it cannot do, and it will not try to do for long. And the creators who win start with a viewer. They build an audience, a profile before they build a content plan. They know exactly who they're making the video for, what the person struggles with, what they search for at midnight when something isn't working. And then they make the most useful, most specific, most satisfying answer to those searches that anyone has ever produced. The content feels personal because it is. It's personally designed for one type of person rather than vaguely aimed at everybody. Failure reason number two, they measure the wrong things too early. A new channel, it posts 10 videos and the subscriber count is at 180. Views are averaging 200 per video. The creator looks at those numbers, compares them to channels they admire with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and concludes this isn't working. And they quit and pivot dramatically, abandoning the niche and changing the format, starting over right at the moment when consistency was the only thing standing between them and momentum. The numbers at 10 videos are meaningless as a success metric. They are useful as a diagnostic tool. Like 200 views per video at 10 uploads isn't failure. It's the algorithm still learning your channel exists. Then the question isn't whether the numbers are big. The question is whether the right signals are moving in the right direction. Your click through rate above 4% means your thumbnail and title are resonating. Average view duration above 40% means your content is holding attention. Comment rate growing means your audience is engaging. And these signals, not views, not raw view counts, and not subscriber numbers, are what tell you whether you're building something worth continuing. A channel with 180 subscribers and strong engagement signals is in a fundamentally better position than a channel with 2,000 subscribers and dead engagement. The first channel is about to grow. The second has already peaked, and measure the signals. Ignore the vanity numbers until the signals are healthy. And failure reason number three, they treat every video like a fresh start. Most failing channels have no connective tissue between videos. Each upload is a standalone piece with no relationship to what came before or what comes next. Different topics, different visual styles, and different energy, different target viewer. And the channel page looks like a random sample of the internet rather than a coherent body of work. And this kills growth in two ways. First, it confuses the algorithm. YouTube builds an audience profile for your channel based on who watches consistently. And when every video attracts a different type of viewer, there's no pattern to build from. The algorithm can't confidently recommend your content to anyone because it genuinely doesn't know who your channel is for. And here's the second in it kills subscriber conversion. A new viewer who loves one video clicks to your channel page, sees no connection to anything else, and leaves without subscribing because there's nothing to subscribe to. No show, no through lines, and no promises of more of the things they just enjoyed. The channel winnings are the ones where every video is an episode. The topic might change, the subject might vary, but the audience is always the same person. The visual identity is always consistent, and the underlying promise, this is the channel for people who care about X, never wavers. And consistency of identity is the compound interest of YouTube. It builds slowly and then accelerates in ways that feel sudden but weren't. Failure reason number four, they quit in the valley. There is a period in every channel's growth that feels like proof it will never work. As I'm filming this right now, this is my channel. It comes up after the initial excitement of starting wears off, but before any real momentum has built. Videos are going up, results are minimal, and the work is harder than expected, and the reward is nowhere in sight. This is the valley, and it's where the overwhelming majority of new creators they quit. And what makes the valley so dangerous is that it's completely normal. It's not a sign that the channel is failing. It's a sign that the channel is in the phase that every successful channel passed through before it grew. The creator who made it through talk about his period constantly. The stretch where they questioned everything, considered quitting weekly, and kept going anyways. Not because they knew it would work, but because they decided to find out. And the creators who win through the valley share one characteristic, okay? They divorce their self worth from their analytics. They stopped treating the numbers as a verdict on their value and started treating them as data points in an ongoing experiment. A low view video isn't a failure, it's a data point that tells them something about their hook, their topic, or their thumbnail. They adjust and they post again. Then again, the channel becomes a lab instead of a stage. And that shift in framing makes the valley survivable in what winning actually looks like. Okay. Winning on YouTube in the early stages doesn't look like going viral. It doesn't look like exponential growth of a video that suddenly breaks out. It looks like a channel that gets incrementally less bad over time. Better thumbnails this month than last month, stronger hooks than 3 months ago, and clear niches than at the start. The creators who ultimately build real audiences are the ones who stayed in the game long enough to get good at it. And getting good at it requires posting work that wasn't good yet, analyzing why it underperformed, and enhancing one specific thing and posting again repeated numbers of times over months and years until the skills compound into something that the algorithm could work with and an audience could start trusting. The barrier to winning on YouTube is not talent, equipment, connections, or timing. It's the willingness to stay specific when vague feels safer, to stay consistent when quitting feels unjustified, and to measure the right things when the wrong things are screaming for attention. But most new YouTubers, they fail because the platform is hard and the feedback loop is slow and the temptation to quit is constant. The ones who win simply decide at some point in the valley when quitting would have been completely reasonable that they were going to find out what happened if they kept going. So keep going. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you really enjoyed today's video. Feel free to buy me a coffee. It's down in the description on the main page. We'll see you on the next one. And hey, check out this video to the right. I think it's got some more information that could really help you on your journey here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.